And President Trump, since campaigning to run for president the first time, he has ran on being the person who's going to be really tough on immigration. This shooting seems to have been the catalyst for an even tougher crackdown. I want to read something that he posted after the shooting. I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. system to fully recover. Terminate all of the millions of Biden illegal admissions, including those signed by Sleepy Joe Biden's auto pen, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States or is incapable of loving our country, and all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens of our country, denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility, and deport any foreign national who is a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. Legally, how can he do this, and how does the Trump administration decide who's a net asset to the United States and who is here to undermine domestic tranquility?
What Trump does is use social media to scare people, intimidate people. Every time he posts something like this, we get so many calls of people saying exactly these things. Can he do this? How does this affect my case? The reality is, what happened in DC was awful, but that individual is one individual. And what the administration doesn't do is mention his background, which is that he worked for the US government as part of a death squad. He needed mental health, he needed mental health services. And this is true of most Afghans that worked with the US government. The fact that he entered as a refugee, or that he got a green card, or that he'll eventually become a citizen is not the relevant point here. Refugees and asylees are one of the most vetted group in the United States. They go through so many different layers of vetting before they're even allowed to enter the US. And naturalization of refugees and asylees is less than 10% of all naturalizations.
I know that you said earlier in this conversation that President Trump couldn't go after his political opponents, but in this statement, does he leave room for almost a slippery slope? Because he said he could naturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility. I mean, how do you measure that? Because obviously this shooting is horrific, but can people's words, according to President Trump, undermine domestic tranquility? I mean, what does that really look like?
It looks like litigation. All these cases are going to go up into the district court. They're all going to be challenged. I mean, there's lawsuits filed every single day against this administration. There is no way that you can put a limit on someone's freedom of expression or freedom of political opinion in order not to naturalize them or give them a green card. This is completely against Supreme Court precedent. The Supreme Court has spoken on this multiple times. The administration basically throws what it can against the wall and sees what sticks. And they know that what they're doing is tying lawyers up in litigation on things that are completely unconstitutional.
So as an immigration attorney, what specifically are you looking out for next?
Right now, the highest number of cases we are seeing are people being detained. So habeas petitions have taken a lot of our attention. People who are being put into deportation proceedings that have been in the US for years, people who are being arrested at interviews. Detention is the big thing right now, and that's intentional, not only to create intimidation and panic in the immigration community, but to make sure that immigration attorneys are spending most of their time litigating and not focusing on other applications and benefits.
Well, I don't think that this is the end of this conversation, that's for sure. And as we see more developments and more play out, I hope you can come back on and join me and break it down. Lina Baroudi, thank you so much for the time. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you, Brittany.